Good morning.
Morning.
Today we are off to check out the rest of Mudgee and tick off a few things that we haven't seen, and I think we're probably at this stage the plan is one winery and a mead place, so we'll see what happens along the way. And then we're heading to
Gulgong, the $10 town. We used to be the $10 town, not anymore.
no, well, hopefully we'll see some fake old $10 notes to show you what we're talking about. But yeah, a full day and we need to get exploring. Here we are at the Henry Lawson Memorial home site. Obviously not much left of his home, the fireplace. You can sort of see the layout on the ground. So how far out of town would you say we are, Phil?
5k.
Oh, there's actually a little picnic area next door. The Henry Lawson picnic area. Beautiful setting, as all things are in Mudgee. Today is all about checking out some of the things we've missed in Mudgee. We went to the information centre and picked up a Mudgee region book, and we're about to do the town walk so that we can get all the highlights as we wander around. Great little map. We're starting in Robertson Park. Following the map, it takes you to all the historic places around the centre of town, and it tells you a little bit of information about each of them. Anglican Church. You've got the clock tower, Anglican Church on one corner, and opposite the Catholic Church with the War Memorial as the clock tower. Check out the size of that clock.
Yeah, so the Lonergan's was a department store. Moved here in 1874, started around the corner in 1870, and didn't close till 1984. Now it's just subdivided into little shops.
And apparently the quaint Presbyterian church does not deserve a mention on the book. Not that far out of town and easy to see. The old newspaper office. Once we finished our walk, we headed to Moothi Winery. Great little tasting area. Yep. Yeah, just shade and view is good. How cool is this view? So this was actually what drew us to Moothi originally, was the fact that you got the view down to Mudgee. It's getting easier drinking as you go through. It's not as good as some others that we've had, but it's not bad.
Not a bad spot to do a wine tasting, is it, my dear?
No. I think we should just make it our life's ambition to find every beautiful wine tasting spot in Australia. Who's up for that? Put it in the comments below. Grapes are so tiny. Look at these grapes. They'll start harvesting in the next month or so apparently. So these are cab sabs.
The destination is on your right, Mudgee Honey Haven.
Mudgee Honey Haven. Going to check out their honey and some mead. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to use the footage that we got inside the honey haven. It was excellent and we did buy some stuff, so how spectacular is that countryside? Probably about a half-hour drive from Mudgee to Gulgong, and it's an easy drive, open road, and pretty impressive scenery. You're definitely out of that vines and stuff now. It's definitely changed feel, hasn't it?
It's very much fun.
And yeah.
Occasional vineyard.
Yeah, still the occasional vineyard, but definitely not as much. This is Gulgong, the commercial travel. We've arrived at Gulgong. It's a great little town, very narrow main street, but we'll take you through there in a little while. And yeah, we've come into the Prince of Wales pub. I'll try and get some footage walking back through. It's one of those classic country pubs with, you know, stuff all over the walls, an excellent thing. We're outside in the beer garden at the back. Got it all to ourselves, which is really lovely. With lunch finished, we headed out to the main street to explore. This is the walk through the pub for you. Quaint little town. Closed but still awesome. I love that. Closed but still awesome. We're going to head into the Holtermann Museum and see what we can learn. Holtermann was, you know, discovered gold and brought money and was a bit of a businessman in these areas as far as the gold rush went, and he also had a couple of photographers working with him, Merlin and Bayliss. We went to Merlin's lookout in Hill End, and now we're in looking at this amazing museum that the people of Gulgong had built. They have gone about this thing on their own, and it's amazing. The quality is brilliant, fascinating. Just had a great orientation from a very passionate local who's been a part of the whole process. If you're in Mudgee, if you're anywhere up here, you've got to come and check out the Holtermann Collection. Even the New South Wales Library has trusted them with the entire collection of Holtermann's photos. He was prolific in capturing memories of this area. So Phil's just reading about the process of making these wet plate photos, which is why the detail is so amazing. One of the talented photographers who took these photos was Merlin. Unfortunately, he succumbed to a lung condition due to the process. As we said, Gulgong is the $10 note, and this is Henry Lawson. He was a poet and writer in Australia, and then these are all the photos that were etched into the $10 note from Gulgong. We're heading to the Pioneer Museum. Apparently this is going to be a real treat. The young lady at the Holtermann Museum, which I cannot stress is so worth the visit, has highly recommended this and said we're going to have a ball. Phil's just moving the car down here so that we don't get a ticket. Always remember, in a new town, check your parking. There's so much to see, and the whole town really, you just get that whole early pioneer feel. They've managed to retain their history. So many fascinating displays.
Still printing shop. It's still working.
He's working hard.
Machine.
Oh wow! It's just set up like a farm. There was so much to see in this museum, and it was worth the time and the wander. Gee, he's even got his own flower. The Gudgeon Cottage. Wow. Mr. Gudgeon handed this over and it was unveiled on his 100th birthday.
This Salvation Army, wasn't it?
Don't know.
There's a picture up there with it.
Oh, maybe.
There's a uniform there.
If that's his uniform, he was a very little man. It's with such humility that I come to places like this. Like, you just see things like that, fire reel, and then progressing to 1950s, 60s fire engine, and you just realise how far we've come as a people and how we've just managed to pull it all off. It does good to come to places like this to be reminded so much of things, how good we've got it today, how tough they had it in the day, and how far we've come. We were just making the comment that it's such a well-maintained town, and it feels right. It is so unusual to see a country town that you would consider small next to a bigger centre thriving so much. It's amazing, and the people are so passionate about their town. Main Street Gulgong. Oh, I know. He's waiting. I feel as though the main street isn't made for the bustling tourist centre that it's becoming, but I wouldn't let that deter you. That's our visit to Gulgong done. We gotta say, you come out here for a weekend of wine tasting and amazing food, do yourself a favour, take the 30-minute drive to Gulgong. It's a fascinating, well-maintained historical town with locals that love to tell their story, so let them tell their story to you. What do you reckon, Phil?
Yeah, great, loved it.
So yeah, 30 k's from Mudgee and 254 from Sydney. If you liked what you saw today, why not hit the like and subscribe button? Hit that little bell so you'll be notified of our upcoming videos. As always, thanks for joining us. Travel brilliantly. Bye! Want to see more? Check out the Mudgee playlist or the video just for you, or check us out on social.